Then Bill started rounding up bad men and running them off. Before long, there was hardly an outlaw left in the state. Who'd like to read this about tornadoes? Thanks, Ruby. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
When tornadoes came roaring into Texas from
Oklahoma,
and
Kansas,
Bill just jumped and rolled them right to ground. They lay whimpering a little puffs of wind and stay down, Bill would say.
Yeah, do you think that's true that someone can grab a tornado and wrestle it to the ground? Oh, that's what we call this a tall tale. Can anybody make a connection? Has anybody here been to Oklahoma or Kansas? Colin, which one have you been to?
I've been to none, but I know Oklahoma and Kansas are some states of Tornado Alley.
Yeah, Tornado Alley. That's really good. So what kind of connection did you just make? We haven't learned those yet, but you did it. Do you know what that's called?
Text to world connection.
Yes. Excellent job, Colin. Text to world. Colin said, I can connect to the story because I know, just like there's tornadoes in the story, I know about Tornado Alley. Very good. Thank you. Who'd like to read this page out loud for us? How about a good reader to read it for us? Come on, some volunteers. Different volunteers. Thank you, Jonathan. Or sorry, Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole page from the top.
One day, Bill looked out over Texas and something felt wrong. There was not an outlaw or a tornado in sight, not even a bloodthirsty mosquito. Was there any trouble left in the state? It sure didn't seem like it. That was the problem. Texas was just too tame for the untamed lakes of Pecos.
Can anybody, thank you. Can anybody infer what happened to the outlaws? What happened to the tornadoes? What happened to the mosquitoes? Colin, can you make an inference?
Pico Bill defeated all of them.
He did. Can anybody make a text-to-text connection? Let's see. I wonder if anybody can make a text-to-text connection. Text-to-text connection. I wonder what connection we can make. No? Doesn't ring a bell? Zoe B. What connection can you make?
Pico Bill is a cowboy, and I heard a story called The Gingerbread Cowboy, which also has cowboys.
Thank you, Zoe. Very good. Can you read that in your head? Okay, so if you look in the first paragraph, he says, I hate to leave Texas, Bill thought, but I need something to do. I'll push on west and set up a brand new ranch. So he had a problem. His problem was there was nothing for him to do. How did he solve his problem? Did he just sit there and cry? Did he ask somebody to help him? What did he do? Zoe B.
He went away and planned to set up a new ranch.
So he took the initiative to solve his problem. Can somebody make a text to self connection? When have you had a problem that you took the initiative to solve? Zoe G?
One day when my dad was screaming at me, I tried to learn a few idioms to let him do his own stuff. For example, like hold your horses.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? When have you taken the initiative to solve your own problem like Pecos Bill just did? Okay, let's look at the second paragraph. I know some people can make a connection here. Bill rode out of Texas. He didn't know a single soul in the far west. He didn't know anybody, but he did know he needed cowhands to help him. So he went somewhere where he didn't know anyone. Can you make an inference? When have you been in a situation where you didn't know anyone? You had to go somewhere. Kelly?
Like when I went to, like when
Where?
I went to
Yeah.
school.
You went to a new school? Okay, can you say in a sentence, I can connect to Pecos Bill
I can connect to people's bill
because
be-
he,
because he wanted to move to no friends. He didn't know anyone, and when I was in school, I didn't know anyone.
excellent job, thank you. Who'd like to read this page for us? Good, strong reader. Who'd like to read for us? How about somebody different? Haven't heard from Kenny, thank you. Haven't heard from you today.
Bill started asking around. I want men as untamed as I am, he said. I want men rough and tough, unwashed and impolite. I want men who can ride all day and, whoa, said an old timer. That sounds like the tough bunch camped up in that canyon. Folks say that they eat nails for breakfast. Sounds like the man for me, said Bill. Off he rode into the canyon.
Good reading. How do we read that last bit there that's bold? How do we read bold words?
Sounds like the man for me, said Bill.
Good.
Off he rode into the canyon.
Like the men for
Good.
me.
Bill hadn't gone far when his horse got spooked. He bucked off Bill and his saddle, hightailed into the dusty distance. Well, Bill was stunned. He'd never been thrown before in his life. Something had terrified his old friend. What was it? Can anybody infer how Bill is feeling right now? Even though it said he's stunned, how else do you think he feels? Ricky?
Confused?
Yes, that's a good one. I like that. Jonathan?
Surprised, like, where is he going? What time is him go away?
Yeah. And can somebody make a prediction on what did spook his horse and scare his horse away? Colin?
The rough man.
The rough men? Zoe B, what do you think?
I think that there are like scary snakes and stuff there.
Why do you think it's snakes?
Because snakes can scare horses.
Is this something you already know? Or you're just taking a guess? Okay. Who'd like to read this page and read that bold writing, really good, strong voice? Who'd like to read for us? Wallace, are you putting your hand up? Great.
Just a rattlesnake of unbelievable size rose up in Bill's path. It flicked its forked tongue. It shows its giant fang. Stop! Cried Bill. I'm Pecos Bill.
Pecos Bill.
I'm Pecos Bill. I have coyote and have cowboy. Don't make me hurt you. But the snake didn't listen.
That is one big snake. That reminds me, I can connect to the story because I can make a text to text connection because just like in this story, there's this giant snake. I remember reading a book, a Harry Potter book, where there was like a giant snake.
Oh yeah, you mean the ball stick that is swimming around there, Slytherin?
I have a great idea. Let's put our hands up.
I
Let's put our hands up, and I'd be happy to hear you if you have a question as to what I was referring to. Zoe B.
I read that Harry Potter 2, book 2.
What am I right? So who can give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. If you know which book I'm talking about. Yeah, that's right. Chamber of Secrets with the basilisk.
Yeah.
Give me a thumbs up if you can make that text-to-text connection also. Okay, I want you guys to make those connections without me telling you. Good job. Now, Bill was
Can
always
I
fit.
tell you something?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I can make a connection because one time I meant because Bill meant a snake and one time I meant a snake. I'm 2 times I met a snake. One time I found a snake and I just leave it alone. The other time I didn't even realize it was a snake. I accidentally stepped on it.
Wow. Okay, thank you. Can you guys read this page in your head? So I'm looking at Pecos Bill tying up that long snake, and I'm making a connection. Can anybody make a connection with somebody they've seen tie up long things like that, twist them and tie them? You might have seen them at a birthday party or a magic show. Kelly?
Before class, I twisted a rope and made it into a bunny.
Okay, you did. You twist. Was it a jump rope you twisted? Has anybody ever seen?
I twisted a yarn.
Oh, has anybody ever seen magicians twisting balloons, making animals out of balloons? Yeah, that's what that's reminding me of. That's the connection I make. Good. Who'd like to read this one in a really good voice? Whoa. Who'd like to read this one for us? Thanks, Kelly.
Just then, a wildcat of unbelievable size rose up and built a path. It roared and screamed. It shouted its big giant face. Wow! Cried Bill.
And the bottom part.
I'm
Pecos Bill.
Pickles Bill. I'm half coyote and half cowboy. Don't make me hurt you.
Can somebody infer what kind of person Pecos Bill is? I know we know he's really rough and tough, but he said the same thing to the snake. He said, I'm going to make it fair and let you go first. I don't want to hurt you. And he just said to this giant wildcat, don't make me hurt you. What can you infer about him, Kenny? Kenny?
Brave.
Yo, for sure he's brave, but listen to the words he said to the snake. He said, I don't want to hurt you. And he just said to the wildcat, don't make me hurt you. He's not saying, I'm going to hurt you and I'm going to enjoy it. He's saying, don't make me hurt you. What kind of person is he actually? Jonathan?
Kind.
Yeah, why do you say he's kind?
Because he don't want to hurt him.
Yeah. Zoe G?
He's fair.
Fair, yes, because he said he'll give the snake the first bite. Can you read that in your head? Then Bill had a thought. He needed a ride. He threw his saddle on the big cat's back. He rode it, bucking and screaming until it was soaked with sweat and meek as a kitty cat. Thanks for the tussle, said Bill. Now, giddy up. Bill rode on until he saw some men around a campfire. They were as big as grizzlies and twice as hairy. They were boiling up beans and coffee. Can anybody make a prediction what you think is going to happen about those men? Think they're going to be friendly? Do you think they're going to cause problems? Do you think they're good cowboys? Do you think they're outlaws? What do you think? What's your prediction? Colin, what do you think?
I think they're bank robbing outlaws.
Bank rob? Okay, that's a good prediction. Kelly, what do you think?
I think they're bad because they have smell.
Okay, I think that's fire in the background. Zoe G, is your hand still up? Who predicts that Pecos Bill is going to be fair to them and say, I don't want to hurt you, so do what I say? Give me a thumbs up if you think he's going to be fair. Give me a thumbs down if you think he's going to be mean. Say, I'm going to wrestle with you. Howdy, boys, said Bill in a friendly like. How about sharing your grub with a hungry cowboy? Who'd like to read that page for us? Thanks, Wallace.
Bill reached barehanded into the boiling pot. He grabbed some beans and swallowed them. He tipped the coffee pot and gulped down the boiling brew. Then he picked a spiny cactus and wiped his chin with it.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. Oh, actually, I'm going to go back. Can anybody else make a connection? There's something on that page. I think you might be able to connect in something else we read. It says he picked a spiny cactus and wiped his chin with it. What connection can you make? Picked a spiny cactus and wiped his chin with it. Ruby, what text-to-text connection can you make?
The brown animals ate the cactuses, and the boy Bill wiped his chin with the cactus.
Thank you. Good connection. Can you read that page in your head?
Before or read in the past. This is like another book I read. So I'm going to do that and as an example today with the same story that we're continuing to read, The Recess Queen. So in The Recess Queen, I have connected The Recess Queen to another story that I know we've all read, Enemy Pie. The Recess Queen is like another book I read, Enemy Pie. And the reason I said that is because both stories have enemies become friends at the end of the story.
Great. So now, can you give me a full sentence on the Gingerbread Cowboy and Pecos Bill? So I'm going to start off. Pecos Bill is like the Gingerbread Cowboy. Both stories have cowboys in them, and both stories also teach you a lesson. Can somebody else give me a sentence just like the one we see on the board. Anything that you can connect between Pecos Bill and the gingerbread cowboy. Anything. Kelly. So look at the screen. So Pecos Bill is like the gingerbread cowboy.
Because they all are in a ranch.
Because they both take place in a ranch. Very good, Kelly. Can somebody else use the screen to give us a sentence on similarities? Zoe B.
They both were in the desert and they both were cowboys.
Can you say it like on the screen? So Pecos Bill is like
Bill is like the gingerbread cowboy because they were both in this hairdresser and they are both cowboys.
great. Thank you. Anybody else? Somebody want to use the idea about animals? Somebody want to use the idea about animals being in the stories? Or the cacti means more than one cactus. Or how about this? Let's dig a little deeper. Could a gingerbread, oh, sorry, go ahead, Kenny. Kenny, do you have your hand up?
Animals. The recess.
No, Pecos Bill.
The Pecos Bill is like another book I
Nope.
read.
Which book?
Gingerbread Cow.
Yeah.
Both stories have animals become friends at the end of the story.
Yeah, okay, very good. Thank you. Let's dig a little deeper. Could a gingerbread cowboy really come to life? No. Could a man really wrestle a tornado? No. So then what do they have in common? Who could tell me? Ricky? So Pecos Bill is like?
Pecos Bill is like the gingerbread cowboy because they both are tall tales.
Okay, they're both tall tales. I don't know if the gingerbread cowboy is a tall tale, but yeah. Tell me about things that are maybe not real or not believable. Can you use those words? Can you use those words?
What?
Can you use the words maybe not real or not believable?
Fiction.
They're both fiction, yes. Kenny, what were you going to say? Kenny?
Not real.
Can you use in a sentence?
The story are both not real.
So Pecos Bill is like the gingerbread cowboy because
The Pecos Bill is like another book.
because the events in the story
Is not real.
are not real. Good, thank you. Kelly, you have your hand up?
The events in the story are not real because they can't hug a tornado or the gingerbread cowboy can't come to life.
That's right. Good.